the Real Men's Channel with Player Supreme.
Hey everyone, Chris Record here, and I am excited about this interview series because I brought out the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Peter Parks, aka Mr. 100K per day. This guy is phenomenal. He's one of the best and leading paid traffic experts in the world, but what's even more phenomenal is his story. It is so crazy. I don't even want to spoil it for you, but when you hear where he was just a few years ago, handful of years ago, to where he is now, making $50 million a year, having daily spending limits on Facebook over $200,000 a day that he can spend, and being in 140 different vertical niches. This guy knows his stuff. And here's the thing. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to have him taking time away from family while he's on vacation at the Radisson Hotel in Aruba to be able to spend time with us and block this out. So what I want you to do is pay very close attention, get the distractions off in the background, make sure things are quiet, get out a pen and paper or take notes on the screen, because this is how you scale. This is how you make some serious money. This is how you get to the next level in the game. So I'm honored to be the interviewee for Mr. Peter Parks. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and get started. So Peter, what I want you to do is I want you to kick this thing off. Can you share with us, prior to all this cool stuff you're doing now, can you share with us your background story and tell us where you were even just a handful of years ago? It's impressive every single time I hear it. So I want to kick this off by saying, what's your background story and how did you get to where you are today?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot for having me on the call, Chris. You're a rock star in your own making, so it should be really good. A little bit about myself. I started in the corporate environment. I was like one of those six-figure corporate guys, highly over-leveraged and underappreciated. I sold the company. I was working for ADT Security Services, one of the biggest security dealerships in the world. So roughly around 2000, 2001, I sold about $20 million for this company selling security products, myself personally. And at the end of the year, I was at the Christmas party and I was on pure 100% commission. So I thought that I'd be getting, a nice big fat bonus check for all my endeavors and my hard work. So the CEO of the company basically handed me a check. I looked at it and it was for $1,000. So I had a few drinks at the time and I didn't know whether to spit on the check or spit in the CEO's face. But as you know, I did neither, because at a Christmas party, that's when, roughly around 33% of people get fired if they do something stupid at the Christmas party. So I didn't do anything. At that time, I just basically said to myself, I've been working with the company for a few years now and always been a top producer, and I felt a little bit like bad. It just left a really bad taste in my mouth. So what I did is about 6 months later, I was just looking out of my office, nice day out, beautiful sunshine day, and the clouds were like it was a nice clear day and everything. And I just kind of had my feet up on the desk, and I basically said, I'm done. Like, this is not for me. So I got up and I just kind of walked out, and I never looked back. I started getting online. I started in the security niche again, because that's what I knew. That's what my expertise was. So I started selling security products online. Did pretty good for a little bit, then didn't do so well, lost a whole bunch of money. I got partnered up with a bad business partner, and they kind of took me for a whole bunch of money, thousands and thousands of dollars. So that put me back even more. And then from there, I kind of went into a little bit of a spiral, went downhill. So I had left my six-figure income career, doing about 4 figures a month with affiliate marketing, selling security products and security-related accessories. Lost all of that. A little bit after that, I kind of went really downhill. Lost my house, lost my car. I had to file bankruptcy. Before I lost my car, I was living in my car for a little bit, and then I lost my car, and then I ended up all of a sudden in the Salvation Army for about 3 weeks. I was sleeping on a piss-stained cot beside criminals and drug addicts, and it was a very bad thing. I was homeless for for the better part of a Canadian winter. So for those of you that live in Canada, you know how super cold it can get down here in Canada. So it wasn't a pretty sight. I was wandering around, didn't eat for a couple of days at a time here and there, slept on park benches, did whatever I had to do to survive. And, this is coming from a six-figure guy with I have a bachelor's degree in commerce. I'm not an idiot, but this thing just went bad really quickly for me in a span of less than a year and a half. So it got to the point where I kind of walked, I kind of went to the library and I got online. They had like a 15-minute free resource that you can go to the library. Started puttering around, looking online again. Then I saw a whole bunch of kids, they're, building all these websites and they're doing SEO and stuff and they're making millions of dollars. And then they sell their websites for like multiple millions of dollars, but their websites really weren't doing anything. And that's kind of when I said to myself, what am I doing? Like, this is ridiculous. So I just jumped into affiliate marketing with SEO. I started building out websites and started getting SEO traffic to them. Got pretty good, got dialed in, but I wasn't building a list. So I was making good money once again. This is probably about a year and a half after the really dark spot of my life. So I was building out websites, driving SEO traffic, and getting really good. And it got to the point where this is roughly around now 2004, 2005, where I was doing almost high five figures a month with this. And it was really easy to get ranked back then with anything. So I was getting ranked with literally any keyword. Blogs were up in the top first 2 to 3 spots at Google. Not too much competition because nobody really knew what they were doing back then, but I was one of the good guys that knew what they were doing. So it got to the point where I was kind of happy, but yeah, I was still a little bit frustrated. And I was wondering, well, if I can make 5 figures, how do I make 6 figures or even 7 figures? But at the time, I wasn't thinking 7 figures. I was just thinking, okay, I'm 5 figures now. Like, how do I get to 6 figures? And then I met a guy named Ewan Chia. He's a super affiliate. For those of you that might know his name, he's been around in the industry for a very long time. This guy's made multiple millions of dollars. And he basically said, well, why aren't you building a list? And it never dawned on me that I should be building a list. I was just selling products and services. So once I started building a list, literally within about 6 months, and I gave Ewan a testimonial. To this day, I still have a testimonial somewhere in my log, but it's on one of his websites. Within about 6 months of me listening to him, that one little thing, and I knew I always had to do it, but I never did it. But he showed me exactly how to do it to build a list. So within literally about 7 months, I popped up my first 6-figure income line. And from there, I quickly scaled my business because I started bringing people on board. Didn't have a big team, brought on 2 or 3 people. That's how I started. And they were all content. I had 2 content people, and I had somebody to actually build the sites because I was getting sick and tired of building the websites myself. So I just basically hired someone else to build the sites for me. And then I had 2 content people to write all the content. And then from there, it just really scaled really quickly. And then roughly around 2007, 2008, that's when I cracked my first $1 million doing SEO. And then that's when I knew I had the real good handle on SEO and I knew what was going on. So I started to actually mentor people in SEO. And shortly thereafter, I had a lot of successful students that learned my strategies. I ended up creating a product. It was my first big information product. It was called Affiliate Punisher. To this day, it's still online. It doesn't really sell that much, 1 or 2 copies a month. It was affiliatepunisher.com. And it was really I was really advanced SEO, blog building, and driving traffic through SEO. So what had happened there was I put it on ClickBank for $77, and it sold pretty well. And then a well-known guru saw it, and he said, take that stuff off of ClickBank. That's too advanced. Repackage it. I'll show you how to repackage it. Turn around and sell it for $2,000. And at the time, I was just like, forget it. I'm not selling for $2,000. Who's going to buy an SEO course for $2,000? With just a bunch of videos. So they basically said, you can do it. Trust me, I've done it many times. So I'm like, okay. So that's what I did. I pulled it up with ClickBank, put it on my own domain, put it through PayPal, ran it through PayPal, and I sold it for $19.97, and it went on to be a really big blockbuster. And to this day, I still have people from years ago that still use the strategies and techniques and affiliate punishment to go on and they create income with it. Like I have people Facebooking me literally once a month, once every other month, telling me that, oh, I got your course or I downloaded your course for some black hat site, and your strategies and techniques still work to this day in 2015, way back in 2007, 2008. So that's pretty funny, I think. I was a little bit ahead of the game way back in then. So that's kind of a little bit of my background, Chris, and how I started and how I really started before Facebook.